Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's session on my exams. So I hope you are warm. Strangely enough, I'm here in Pretoria today, and it's very cloudy. It feels almost like back home in the Western Cape. So today we've got quite a few people in our panel as well. So I'm just going to go through them quickly. Firstly, my name is Richard Wright. I'm with the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. You'll see my face a bit later when we do the proctoring tools. So you can know I'm not an AI robot yet that's teaching you on this side. But then we've also got David Hopperstad. He's also from the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. And our purpose is mainly to get you through using the proctoring tools so that you really can experience the proctoring tools before you go for your exam so that you know you are ready. Because in the end, this is an additional technical thing that you have to cater for, but it's not one of those that must be stressful for you for the exam. So you must first always prioritize studying your material. And we've also got in the session Dr. Chetty. He's actually the head of the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. And then we've also got Jesse Cefalo, that's from Student Support. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. But just know, unfortunately, we can't help with administrative questions. We are here primarily to give you an overview of the proctoring tools, how they work, so that you can go test them out before your examinations. So we've got quite a big program to get through in this hour and a half. So we've broken it down into 3 steps. So step number 1 is preparation. So that is where you're going to learn about the proctoring tools, how to use them, how to test them, how to find out which proctoring tool you will actually use for your modules. Secondly, we will focus on how do you actually access the exams. So many of you might be, you second time, but it's very important to note you're not going to write it on my modules. You're actually going to write it on a separate, how can I say, platform specifically for your college. So there's, how can I say, almost 5 instances made for each college to make sure that it runs smoothly. Then lastly, we will touch on what support is available to you, especially with students with special needs. How do you apply for it? But also what contact channels? How do you actually get in contact with Ms. Cefalo to actually ask questions on the day if you experience any problems during the examinations? The exam lines are prioritized, so keep those numbers safe if you do have any problems during the examinations. So firstly, we did put in the chat a link to the pre-assessment. Now, these pre-assessments really help us standing before the session, and at the end of the session we do a post assessment so that we can see everything that for you on your side, you will be able to see what you've learned. We can perhaps see where there's still some gaps, some areas that we need to focus on in the future, so that we can really make these workshops as beneficial as possible. So if you have not done it yet, I am putting the link again in the chat, so you can just click on the link and then quickly do that while we go through the introductory section. So step 1 is preparing for the examination. As we mentioned, this is where you're going to go through our online course material. You're going to test out the proctoring tools. What's nice about it, you can actually test all the proctoring tools. So, in the future, if you do use one of the others, you are ready to use it. But very importantly, you need to access the open myExams guide. So you can scan the QR code. I will also ask Hopperstad just to quickly drop the link in for you so you can get to the myExams resources, because this is very important that you have this link. This is where we're going to be working from. This is where you're going to be afterwards test out your setup so that you make sure everything is working. I see there might be a bit of problems with my connection. I'm actually hotspotting because here where we are experiencing there's no internet at the facilities where I am. But David, just let me know, then you can jump in anytime if it does become a little bit of a issue. Yeah, so
Right, no
a lot
problem. I'll do that.
okay, so just let me know if it does interrupt again. Okay, colleague, students, so firstly, I'm going to open up this website because it's very important that you do get access to this. So once you log in, so remember you log into this website with your MyLife email address and your myUnisa password. So this is the site where you want to be, the basic skills for online exams. If you go visit the site on the home page, it's very easy. It's the second banner from the top. You just click on that one and it will open up the myExams guides for you. So while it's loading on my side, now on the left navigation, so if I close that and open it up again, you'll see all the modules that we've got for you. So do this step by step because it really takes you through how to firstly access the exams portal. Then secondly, we do focus on the assessment types that we will cover later as well. And then we dive into the proctoring tools. So I'm going to drop this one already for you in the chat because this is very important. What proctoring tool will you actually be using on the day of the examination? So this one, you just come and have a look. You look up your module and please post for us in the chat what proctoring tool you will be using. So if I'm using, for instance, writing maths, I'll just type that in. It will come up. Oh, I'm using Iris proctoring. So that means I'm in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, CSET. So I'm going to drop the link in there. Please go look up your modules that you are writing and tell us what proctoring tools you will be using, because this will also help us in this session to see, oh, okay, most of you will be using Iris. Oh, I see there is a few Irises as well. Invigilator, your favorite one. I say what I breaks every now and then. Lotte, I'll ask David as well to post the YouTube link. The sound might be a lot better on YouTube side. Sometimes it is Teams using a little bit more bandwidth, but you can still participate in the chat on this one. Okay, so a lot of Invigilator, Iris. Okay, there's at least one Moodle, so we're not, so we have to cover that one as well. So yes, a lot of them, and a lot of you might be using the Invigilator app along with Turnitin that they have. But remember, Turnitin is basically just upload as normal. You will get a likeness report, but everything else is exactly like you would do with the normal Iris Invigilator app. So if we get back to our presentation, so please, yeah, have a look at yet. Go make sure which proctoring tool you will be using. Now, there is two important things that you do need to do before the examinations. Hopefully you have done this already. You only need to do this once and upload a profile picture. And then secondly is the exam proctoring tool. I'll share that link again, so to make sure that you've got access to it. The tool was updated this week, so it's got all the latest proctoring tool for the modules. So if there's any changes, you can go have a look to make sure that it is still the correct proctoring tool you're preparing for. Now, remember, profile picture is on myUnisa, my modules. If you're going to log into myExams, the picture is not going to show there. You only upload the picture on my modules. And it's very easy. You just on the top right, click on your username, you click on profile, and then you will have an edit profile button. It's now a big yellow button that you click on. Once you click on there, it will open up your profile settings. And just scroll down where it says user picture and you upload a profile picture there. Now, sometimes you will notice if you, especially if you take a photo with your phone in portrait, what it tends to do is for some reason it turns the picture and it looks like you're sleeping on the side. So all you need to do there is just crop the photo into a square so that it will then, if you upload it again, it will appear correctly. I'll just take the photo in landscape. Now, just very importantly, these photos are used for proctoring as well. What they do is, especially with the Moodle proctoring, where they take your picture, they compare it to the picture that's on my modules. So remember, it won't show on my exams, but they grab the pictures from my modules to make sure you are the person, the correct person doing the MCQ exam. So very importantly, do this once. You only have to do it once in your career. Make sure the picture is clearly of your face so that all your features are visible. And as David would say, that you do not have to go and spend money on hair and all of that. You're beautiful as you are, so just take the picture to get it uploaded there so that they can use it for the proctoring. Now, as we mentioned, the proctoring lookup tool, I'll share again how we get to it once we work through all of the sections. And but very importantly, make sure that you know which proctoring tool you are going to use. If you are just going to be using the Invigilator app, you're not going to bother learning the Moodle or Iris. If you're going to be using Iris, you're just going to learn Iris because Iris is used for both MCQ and take home. So that's the only one you will use for your examinations. If you're using only the Invigilator app, that's the only one that you're going to focus on. I'm just quickly opening up the website again. So just a quick note on required devices. So remember, especially if you're going to be using Invigilator app, you do need a smartphone for the app to run on. It only runs on a smartphone. UNISA does not use the desktop version or the one that you can run on your laptop. It's only the smartphone. So if you're using a smartphone, preferably not older than 5 years, make sure it's updated. That's got a working camera, microphone, and sound. They also use GPS technology with that app. And very importantly, make sure you've got space. Sometimes you'll just have to back up some of your photos perhaps or your apps just to make sure you've got enough space for those pictures to be taken during the session that we will cover later. Then if you're using a laptop or desktop, especially if you will be using Iris, you will need to use a desktop or laptop. Remember, that also needs a working camera, microphone, and sound. Also, preferably no older than, that it can run Windows 10 and it's got a good internet connection. And make sure it's got enough RAM so it can run at least Office applications very well. For Iris, you will need a Chrome or Microsoft Edge. If you're going to be using Moodle proctoring, it uses the camera as well on the device, but you can use your phone or the desktop PC. But just make sure that those cameras and everything is working. So I'm just quickly, before we delve into these ones over here, I just want to show you quickly on the navigation. So we will cover a little bit later accessing the exams so that you know exactly how to access it. Now, I just quickly want to highlight something here before we get to this section is the two types of assessments that you need to know what do they mean. You might see on your exams, the one is MCQ, that's a quiz. So if you've done a multiple choice assignment already, it uses exactly the same tool. There's just a few differences that we will highlight. If you have a take-home assessment, that means it's a written assessment. That means you're going to type it out and upload the PDF document. So if you've done a written assignment already, it works with the exact same tool. It's only that you will be using the proctoring tools alongside it. But we will delve into this when we get to accessing your exam. As we mentioned, very importantly, you need to upload a picture on my modules. But remember, this picture will not show on my exams. So don't log into my exams. You will not be able to upload a picture there. It's only on my modules we upload it. So as you can see here, we've got step-by-step instructions, and each one is also accompanied by a short video clip at the bottom. So if you just want to see quickly how to do it with a demonstration, just click on the video at the bottom. Then very importantly, as we mentioned, what proctoring tool we use. As I mentioned, it's been updated this week with the latest ones. So it should reflect the ones that's in your exam timetable as well. but you can always come and have a look here quickly, what type of tool you will be using, and then you can just click on the link and it will take you to the correct module. So now we're getting to the different proctoring tools that's being used. So currently at the university, there are 3 proctoring tools being used. So the first one is Moodle proctoring. Now, as we saw, MCQ exams is basically a quiz. It's the same quiz that you use for your assignments. And Moodle proctoring is used for MCQ exams, except for the College of Science, Engineering, Technology. The same applies for the Invigilator app. The Invigilator app is only used for take-home exams. And that is the assignments that you've done previously, the written assignments that you uploaded. The only difference is with College of Science, Engineering, Technology, and the students that are writing their CTA exams. They use IRIS, and they use IRIS for both of them. So they're lucky in the one hand, they only have to learn one proctoring tool. On the other hand, that's also the most strictest proctoring tool that's available. So if you're not in the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, and you're not currently going to be writing your CTA exams, you know you're going to be using one of these two. But if you're in the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, you know you're going to be using IRIS. Now, the one difference is just with the Invigilator app, some modules are using Turnitin, but remember that is more a likeness check. It's not that you have to activate anything before or install anything. It's just part of the submission where you have to accept the ULA. That's a user agreement for Turnitin, and you just upload it as normal. Now, Moodle proctoring, what I like about Moodle proctoring, it's the easiest one. It's MCQ. You don't need to install anything. There's no setup before it. All you need to do is make sure that you've got a working camera, and it can be on your cell phone, can be on your desktop or your laptop, and you're good to go. Now, a lot of people think, oh, this thing is recording me the whole time, you know, must dress up and all of that. That's not the case. It actually just takes a random picture of you at intervals, so about every 20 seconds or 30 seconds at randomized times. The main aim of this proctoring tool is to ensure that it's you writing the assessment, the MCQ. There are other ways where they make sure you know that you can't share results and all of that type of thing, and we will show you now exactly how that works. So just now with this one, you can do it on your cell phone or you can do it on your laptop as long as you've got a working camera. So if we go onto our course over here, so that we've got Moodle proctoring, webcam, camera. So it doesn't matter how you prefer to refer to your camera on your phone or on your laptop. So this one, you basically open the MCQ quiz. It will give you a message here to say that this one is using your webcam. So don't worry if you don't have a webcam, it's going to use the camera on your device. And then you just start a temp quiz. It will give you a pop-up, very important pop-up that to ask, allow camera. Now on the phones, it's usually in the center of the screen. On the browser, it's sometimes here at the top, but make sure you click on allow so that you can use the camera. And from there, you just attempt the quiz as normal until, or the only difference would be is when you start, you have to agree to the validation process, else you won't be able to click on the start attempt button. So I'm going to actually take you through this. At the bottom of each of these, there is a link to the mock exams. So I'm actually going to share with you this one directly. Let me just open up the correct window here. Where we get this one. Let me just open it from this side as well. So I'm going to share this link. So if you're going to be using Moodle proctoring, I saw there was a few of you using Moodle proctoring. This is the one that you will become and test. I'll paste the link in there so you can even do this with me if you're able to. So this mock exam that we've got here is specifically for Moodle proctoring. And as we mentioned, this only works with MCQ. So if you're going to be doing a multiple choice one, this is most likely the one that you're going to be used if you're not in the College of Science, Engineering, Technology. So just as a normal quiz, you open up the assessment. Let's wait for it to load. Now, it will then ask you already, to make sure that it's got access to your camera. So remember, if that pop-up does appear, you need to click allow. Also, you need to go into the settings again. It will usually be here on the top where you have to then allow the camera for this device. So as we mentioned, you can see here at the top, use your cameras. So I have to click allow. Just make sure that you click on this allow button. And then you can scroll down and you'll notice here it's the message that it's using your webcam. So it works exactly, how I would say with your normal assessments. So I'm just going to start here preview quiz, but you will have temp quiz. So firstly, you need to access the validation process. You have to agree to it. So you can see here the background in the hotel is very gloomy outside today. I wonder if we're going to get some rain here in Pretoria. Do you guys want some rain in Pretoria? I don't know. In Western Cape, we want the rain now to stop because we had enough. So remember, it's also time limits. So for instance, this one, I will have a time limit of 10 minutes. So once you tick this box, if I untick it, you'll notice I can't start the attempt. So you do need to click this button and then you can click on start attempt. Now, one thing, as we mentioned, this one now is going to run. It might show you on the side as well, your webcam. It will only take a picture of you, so it doesn't record what you're doing. It doesn't record your audio or anything like that. It only takes a picture every 30 seconds or so. The way that they make sure that how can I say that you can't share questions is by randomizing the questions. So firstly, the questions, you won't get the same question as somebody else. They've got a big pool of questions that they draw from, and you get a random question from that pool. So, and another thing is you have to click on, how can I say, answer, and then go to the next one. If I go here at the top, you'll notice like in the other quizzes, you can jump between questions. This one you can't. You have to answer it and then continue to the next one. So very importantly, when you answer it with the exams, don't try and browse through all of them quickly to see what's coming and don't try to go back. You most likely will not. Most modules set it that you have to do it sequentially. So you have to answer the question and then click next. You'll notice there is no back button so that I can skip backwards very quickly. So I'll answer the second one. You'll notice there is no back button. The webcam will run here on the left-hand side. One thing that we have noticed in the past that students says is sometimes the camera, it's almost like the video goes black. It just shows a black frame. Do not worry about it. What I say is if you got through the first part of accepting the, the proctoring, then you can basically from there just work through all the questions, because it does sometimes in certain browsers show black, but it's actually still taking the picture. We actually tested it out and it does still capture it. Patricia, ADOBH, I think there's a lot of people trying to access it right now. Luckily, ICT will be upgrading us on Monday, so we're going to be very fast from then. But also just try after the session again to refresh, and they should reload the website for you again. At the moment, we've experienced this last week, thousands of people jumping on the platform. So they are going to be upgrading us so that we can cater for everybody, so that everybody can have a smooth experience. But at the moment, just wait a little bit and then you will be able to see it. So where do you see the tools that we use in my module? I'm just quickly gonna, while we wait for all of this to load, I'm just gonna answer that one so long. You'll see the camera is here, but you can actually close this on the side as well if you want to save some bandwidth. So I'm gonna post again what proctoring tool will my modules use, and hopefully you do know where to get your timetable. Once we finish all the proctoring, I will quickly show you where you can get your timetable as well, as that also indicates to you where do you get the proctoring tools you will be using. Okay, so this one you just answer basically all the questions sequentially. Remember, make sure answer before you go to the next one. You can keep an eye on the time that's remaining. Remember, when the time starts, it will submit automatically. So this is also very important. Say halfway through, you experience internet problems and you have to perhaps change devices, or you need to connect to a different network. Note that these everything is captured as you go along. So if you don't make it back, it will submit everything that you've answered. If you log back in, you will continue from where you left off. So just be advised that safety net is there for you, especially if you're experiencing load shedding again. Usually Eskom loves bringing in load shedding when we're writing exams for some reason. And so just know you can switch devices, log in again, continue from a different device. It's not that you're going to lose all the information. And in the end, if your time runs out, it will submit everything automatically. So once you're done, you just click on Finish Attempt, and then you'll get the normal message as you do with, I'm going to say when you Simon's quiz, where you can just make sure that you've answered all the questions. Unfortunately, you won't be able to go back to the questions like you do on the quizzes. But just remember, once you're done, you click on Submit All and Finish. It will give this pop-up as well to make sure that you want to submit, and you just click Submit All and Finish. So as you can see, Moodle proctoring, very easy. You do not need to install anything. You can use this on your mobile device or on your laptop or desktop, if it's got a working camera. It only works with the quiz tool, that's the MCQ exams, and it does save your progress as you go along. So for the next one, that's the Invigilator app. Now, I know there was a lot of you that's using the Invigilator app. So for this one, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Harperstad, and David, over to you.
Thanks, Richard. I hope the rain does come, because on my side is Polokwane. It's also very hot, and at least today we've got some clouds. Okay, so Invigilating app, guys. Now, this is the second proctoring tool that you might get. Doesn't mean you will. I do see some of the students who are listing all the proctoring tools. Guys, remember, it's one proctoring tool per module. So it doesn't mean you are going to get them all. You might only get one proctoring tool for all your exams. Is the Invigilator app and IRIS the same thing? There are two different things, and we're going to show you now the Invigilating app, and then we're going to, Richard's also then going to show you IRIS, or I might need to jump in and show you IRIS, just to show you the different apps that we are using, guys. So, okay, Invigilating app is for what we call the take-home exams. Okay, it's like your assignment exams only, right? Very importantly, guys, you need to download this onto your smartphone, right? Not your laptop, only on your smartphone, because that's where it's going to run from. It's going to take some pictures. It's going to want you to do a few little things in between your exam. So it's really not that strange, but once you just do the demo, you'll get a feel for it. And then from there, you'll actually see it's not that bad. But we do recommend it, guys. Please do the practice, or what we call the mock exams or the demo exams, so that you can get a good feel for the proctoring tool. All right, so also what you're going to do with the Invigilating app, which is also very important, you're going to need to upload your script with the Invigilating app and on myExams. So in other words, there's two locations that you're going to need to do this on. So don't panic. If it is your first time, what you can then do is, there is a contact number here, 0735058273. So that is a WhatsApp number only for the technical team for the Invigilating app. So if you do have any issues, that's how you can do it. Wayne, to answer your question, you need to put your phone into flight mode once the app starts up so that you don't get any of those people calling you. But please make sure you keep the app running. Don't switch your phone off because obviously that will be a problem. Okay, so guys, this is only for students who are writing what we call the take-home exam if it's 4 hours or less. Okay, so you will need to go and check your module, go check the announcements from the lecture, because by now you definitely would have been given lots of information about your exam. So make sure you go and read it, right? Because it'll guide you exactly what's expected from you. So if it's more than 4 hours, guys, it's definitely not going to be the Invigilating app. However, please go check and see exactly what the lecturer is saying. Devices. So when you're writing your exam, you can have 2 devices. So that is kind of the ideal setup. In other words, you've got the laptop or PC or tablet. That's where you're writing the myExams, the answers, the script. But then you've got the Invigilating app that only runs on your smartphone. Okay, so then you've got those 2 devices. You write your exam, but it's sitting next to you right like that. If you've only got a smartphone, then you're going to have to use the app's inbuilt browser, and you'll actually do everything on the app itself. So you're going to just need to go and practice this, all right, so that you actually get comfortable with it. And that's really what we want you to do. But please take note, very, very importantly, you as a student, you'll only be registered 72 hours before the first exam. Because there's a license attached to the software, that's when that license will be issued. So as soon as that 72 hours lapses, please then do the demo. We'll show you where it is and go and practice. And trust me, after a couple of tries, you will actually see, oh, this is exactly how it's going to work. Then go through the steps and then test out the device itself. So that's really what we're going to show you here. So for now, right, if you're only writing at the end of October, then definitely you won't have access yet to the app. However, you will have access to everything that we are showing you, how it's going to happen, so you can prepare yourself so that you completely have a good understanding. So how's it going to work? Okay, first thing, you're going to download the app. You'll see a screen looking like this. Let me just change my pointer quickly. That's the one. Okay, so you'll open the app. It's going to say something like this. First thing, guys, you have to log in with your My Life details. So that's very, very important. My Life details, because remember, you're writing an exam and that exam is then linked to your profile. So including the license. So you can't go log in with Google or anything else. You have to log in with your My Life details. How do we do that? You're then first going to click on register. In other words, I don't have an account. You register. You're going to select UNISA, very, very importantly. Then you're going to put in your student number, no spaces, just your student number, one set of numbers. First name, last name. Your email must be your My Life email. And at the bottom, your mobile number, and then you're going to create your own password. Very importantly, you're creating your own password for the app. What we can suggest is maybe use the same password as my UNISA, because that's an easy one for you to remember by now. So it'll just make it easier for you to remember when you need to log in. Then you need to confirm your account. In other words, what will happen is it's going to send a confirmation PIN to your email account, which in this case is My Life. So quickly go check your My Life and then you will type in the PIN. It looks something like this. As an example, right? Trust me, it's just an example, so you can't use this one. All right, so there we go. It says, hello, there's your student number, and then they give you a PIN. You type that PIN in, and then it's going to pop up the next thing, terms and conditions, which you do need to accept. Otherwise, you can't use the app, guys. You don't really have a choice on that one. And then it's going to say welcome. Right, so that's quite straightforward. Then what will happen is the app is going to need to test your device's hardware, right? Just to make sure that everything's working correctly. So the next few steps, you're going to do it as a once off. And then the next time you use the app, it's not going to ask you all this initial setup. So the first thing it's going to say is, can I access your microphone? Okay. And then you have to say allow, guys. So for all these pop-ups, you're going to have to say allow. So music and sound and whatnot, you have to say allow. You'll say continue. Then it's going to get to the get started screen, which basically just is going to say to you, hi, welcome. Now we're going to quickly test your device. So the first thing it's going to say is, let's do a quick selfie check. Now this is just to test your camera. So you're going to say, okay, great, click continue. Then it says attention. Now each slide here is broken up into 3 little things that you're going to see. So it's not going to be all on the same screen. Then it'll say attention, you'll click continue, your camera is going to activate, and then you're going to put your face in where the L is in currently. Okay, so there we go. So then that way you're going to then say brilliant. And just at the bottom of your screen, you'll just see it over here. You'll see there is the take screen button. So you're just going to zap that once right at the bottom, and then it will take a quick picture of you. Then it's going to say to you, all right, now I need to use your front side camera and I want to take a picture of your ID or a student card. Student card would be easiest probably because you can just put it down and then you just say continue, unless you've got a smart ID. That's also like a student card, right? So there we go. That's Richard over there. He still had hair. So he takes a quick picture of his card over like that. Again, there's that button. You're going to whack it. And there we go. So it's done the front camera, back camera. And now it's going to start or scan a document. So now we're going to do the third check. So then we click on start again. Any document that you have, guys, tutorial letter, anything of all, nothing personal, obviously. Then you just click on take a picture of the device. All right. Now that's good. If you can see in here, that's good, Nandi. It means your connection is good or Teams is behaving. All right, so there we go. So you can take a picture of a document. All right. And then you'll see the little button looks a little bit different. So you keep your finger down for a few seconds. Document found, remain steady. So it's very quick though. But yeah, it'll take a picture of the document for you. Brilliant. So then you've tested that feature, right? Remember, all you're doing now is testing the device and the software. Microphone check. Then you're going to say, right, now it's going to test using the sound of my phone. Click on start. Then it's going to pop this ping noise. Trust me, at night, you're going to still hear this ping noise when you're sleeping. It's a really loud noise. It goes ping, and then you'll seriously hear it. Okay, so then you say test the sound. So you can hit it a few times if you didn't hear it or you like the sound maybe. But if you did hear it, you say yes. If you didn't hear it, then you need to check your device and check, is it working correctly? Is the volume setting up? All that type of thing. Hopefully it works first time round, then you're done. Then what's going to happen is, right, so now you've tested the cameras, you've tested the scan function, you've tested the sound for the beep. Now it's going to want you to take what we call the master photo. So this one's quite important. So you're going to take, again, a picture of yourself. So it looks something like that. But the master photo is going to stay with the app. So it's quite important that you take a nice proper picture of yourself. As Richard said, don't have to worry about makeup and hair or anything like that. So yeah, that's important. Naya, maybe just mute the Teams meeting in terms of the chat side. That can also help you because people do need to ask questions. All right, so yes, so then you take a master photo. So this one is important and it stays on the device. Okay, if your profile pic is I don't know what that really means, when you're pulling a face or something. Just remember, you're going to go back with the technical number that we've given you, and you can ask them to remove the photo for you so that you can re-add your master photo. Okay, so the technical team will give you the WhatsApp number again, and then you can redo that part. Right, then it's done. Once you've got to this point, then the app is actually waiting for you. So where do you get your QR code? Well, that will be given to you, all right, for the exam itself. However, so your lecturer will send it before the exam, so don't worry about that one. But for the demo, it's on the same place where you saw Richard doing the demos for the Moodle app. So you're just going to basically go there. We've got a demo there for you. But remember, you can only do the demo once you can actually log into the app closer to the exam. Then you're going to say start invigilation, right? So now you want to go test it out to see how this app works. So once you click on it, it's going to say to you, please enter the QR code or the start code, because remember, you can type in the code itself. And there's the example. You can just see it over here. This is on our course site, so that's where you'll find the demo. So if you do have access already, you can then actually do this point. So scan it or type in the code. It's right at the bottom over there. Either one is fine. And then it's going to pop up and it's going to say, is this you? Is this correct? Is this your profile? And you have to say yes. Otherwise, it's a little bit strange. Why doesn't it see you? So in that case, it's a quick check just to make sure everything is fine. Then it says the assessment's about to start. So again, you can click on the ping noise just to test the sound to make sure it's nice and loud. It's just a little demo. Click on start. Then it's going to say to you, all right, we are going to let you practice all the things that are going to happen in your exam, but we're going to do it in a very short space of time, including how to upload your script. Please don't leave the app. That's very important. You can't close it. You can't do anything else. You can't watch YouTube while the app is running, that type of thing. Remember, let the app run. If it's next to you and you're using your laptop, that's perfect. So what's going to happen now is in the demo, it's going to do it fairly quickly. It's going to ask you to take a selfie or a picture of your ID or a picture around the area around your laptop. So something like that, which is fine because that's exactly what's going to happen in the actual exam. So once it does this, guys, you're going to see the first thing that pops up. It's going to say take a photo of your student card. Then all you're going to do is you're going to click continue. There's your student card. You quickly take a picture of it. All right, then you carry on. Then it's going to pop up again with that big ping noise. And it's going to say, all right, take a picture of your selfie of you. Great, you quickly do it. There it is, pops up, take a picture. And there we go. So as you take these pictures, you're going to see they are going to now appear in this little box over here. Sort of like your evidence, if you like. All right, yes, even taking a picture of your PC, you're going to need to have to do that. Right, so you do all these little practice tests, right? All those little images and pictures of yourself and things like that. Then at the end, it's going to say to you, okay, now we need to upload your script. Now, this is where coming to practice, your ID card can also work, fortunate. So when you get to the actual exam, now this is the important part. You're going to need to practice this, taking pictures of your screen and being able to do it fairly quickly, but make sure you get the best quality pictures you can get, because remember, it doesn't help if you upload something that's very blurry, because how on earth are they going to be able to use that? And that will be flagged then, right? So this little part is it seems daunting, but when you've done it 2 or 3 times, you're actually going to see that, oh, okay, this is actually quite easy to do. So for example, you're going to take pictures and you can take many pictures, right? It doesn't just mean one at a time. So you're going to go practice this, guys, and then you're going to do the pictures. And eventually what will happen is, the nice thing is the Invigilating app is going to convert it to a PDF for you. So that's really great. So it does that for you as well. So you take all these pictures. Once you're done, you're going to click on the done button, and then it's going to create the entire document for you. And then you're going to say, click on upload PDF. Then it's going to say, are you sure? Okay, if you're ready and you've done all the scans, then you're going to say, yes, let's upload. Then it's going to give you a nice little reference number. So do a screen grab, keep this evidence. Of course, at this point, you do need your internet connection back on again so that you can do the uploading process. Then well done, you're done. But what we're also suggesting is, right, since you've uploaded it on the app, that's the first upload you need to do. Also, share the PDF and share it to your email address. Okay, we don't have a slide for that. But then share it with your email address so that it sends you the email to your My Life, for example, which you then can go download and then upload onto the myExams platform. Because remember, with this one, there's 2 places you need to upload. With myExams, it's exactly the same place where you download your exam paper, is exactly the same place you're going to upload your answer sheet as well. So it's very similar to your assignments, in other words. Right, so once you've done that process, then you are done. And you'll see in the background, you'll see it says uploading everything in the background. So very importantly, and this is why we're saying to it, so once you've done the Invigilating app, you've uploaded it, you shared your PDF to yourself, then you quickly download it with your MyLife email, then you go back where you got the exam paper. Very importantly, go back to the same location and you'll see there's an upload option where you're going to upload your script. So pretty much exactly as you'd expect. Now, the important part is, guys, you do need to take note of the time and the time function. It should have been shared with you already, so it's probably not new to you, but let's quickly review this so that everybody's on the same page. Before the start time of your exam, 15 minutes before, the exam will open. That's on myExams. You download the exam paper or the question paper. Then you start the Invigilating app because you then will have the QR code there at this point. Okay, probably be in your exam paper anyway. It'll be right there. Then start the Invigilating app. 30 minutes after the start time, so if it was 9 o'clock, by 9:30, the Invigilating app scan window will close. In other words, you will not be able then to start your exam because then you are late. So that's also important to note. Right, then you go do your exam. All right, but here's a little note, if you do finish before the due time, that's perfectly fine. Then you submit it on myExams and then you also upload it on the Invigilating app. So in other words, you do the same process, all right, just because it's before the exam. 10 minutes after due, the Invigilating upload start closes. All right, in other words, once the time, let's say it's 10:30 or 11 o'clock, once that exam ends, you've got 10 minutes to complete the Invigilating app upload. So this time, guys, you can't be using it for your exam itself. You actually need to do the process of uploading your scripts. And this is where the demo comes in, where you've been practicing, because you can see how many pages you can do very quickly, but make sure the quality of those pictures is really, really good. Then on my exam site, so Invigilating app is priority, get it done, because you still got a bit more time to upload on the myExam site before the myExam site closes. So take note of this time. So if you finish after due time, start uploading on the Invigilating app and then submit to myExams. Okay, so that's really what we're trying to tell you. Invigilating app first, myExams thereafter. So that's quite important to remember. So there you've got the outline. We will share this with you. It is on the course site, guys. You're going to need to go and practice this if you are using the Invigilating app, because then you'll get a feel for it. You'll see how it works. And then from there, you'll see, okay, it's just a matter of now practicing and you'll be fine. You'll understand how it works. Technical support. Now, this is what I said to you. If you didn't have a very good picture, a master picture, then please keep this number handy. But please note, guys, this is only for WhatsApp chat, no phone calls. So 073-505-8273. Now, you only keep this if you're actually using the Invigilating app, guys. Contact them if you've got any technical problems. They do respond very, very quickly, and they will be able to assist you. But just remember, you can only access the license 72 hours before the actual exam. So no, just answering the question in the chat there. So only 72 hours. That means once you hit that 72 hours, keep checking. Once your license is assigned, you'll be able to log in with your MyLife details, then go do the demo. It won't take you long, few minutes, and you'll actually be able to use it. All right, so that really covers the Invigilating app. Richard, on your side, am I going to do Iris?
No, it should be good. Just let me know if there's any interruptions.
Okay, cool. I'll be on standby on my side. But there we go, Richard. Now you can show the students. This is, again, only for CSET and for CTA exams. So just take note of that as well.
Yes. Yeah, and I just saw there, Birch. Please, yes, you can definitely go download the app, see if you can log in already. They do generally, how can I say, if you have an account already, you should be able to log in. Sometimes they do give for new users about 2 weeks before your exam, you'll get your license. So just make sure that you can log in, and remember to create your account with your MyLife email for the Invigilator app. So now we're getting to IRIS. I see there, what is CSET? CSET is the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. So this is for all our scientists. Can the scientists please raise their hand? Let's see how many of you are around here. That's the ones that's doing computer science, mathematics, physics, all of those type of things, the engineering subjects. Yeah, I see there's quite a lot of you. So yes, so this session is now for you. So remember, IRIS is for College of Science, Engineering, Technology. They're currently the only ones using it. It's used for both MCQs and take-home exams, and it's, as I said, it's probably because you're smarter. They made it the most technical one, I would say, on the one hand, where it captures everything. So to make sure that you don't have your little program running on the side, your little AI bot that's doing all the work for you. So this one, as we mentioned, only runs on a laptop or desktop. There is a mobile version, but remember at UNISA, we're only using the laptop or desktop version. For this, you need to have Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So you have the option of those two browsers that you can use. And the computer or device that you were using does require a microphone and a camera or webcam. Just make sure that you've got it. And then I saw there earlier, can I use two screens? Unfortunately not. I'll show you now what's going to happen if you actually have two screens. So I'm going to open up the IRIS section. So it's also under proctoring tools. I'll copy this link for you in the chat as well. And so you'll notice on here, we've got the IRIS setup instructions, but I'll take you step by step how to set it up. But I prefer this official IRIS website. So this one, I'll actually put the link for you in the chat as well. You'll notice they actually made one specifically for UNISA. So remember, this is an external company that's providing this service for us. So it's IRIS Invigilation. They've got a UNISA page. And what I like about here is you can always get the latest manual. So you'll see it runs on Mac and Windows. So it doesn't matter which platform you're using in that regards. And then at the bottom, it also has, how can I say, support. So if you run into any problems, you can quickly come look here. What is it? So the problem can easily be solved on your side. So you can test this out beforehand to make, if you run into problems, then you can resolve it. So just also to note, there is a few requirements with IRIS in terms of the recommended specifications. As we mentioned, Windows 10, RAM, 8 gigabytes plus, hard drive at least 200 megabytes. Yeah, if you're only running your hard drive on 200 megabytes, you can have a very slow PC. And then remember, it's Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So firstly, you're going to identify which browser you're using. I'm using Microsoft Edge because I'm not stuck in the 90s like David. We actually want to use something that's quick and fast. So I'm going to click here on Microsoft Edge because this is the one that I'm using. And you'll notice here it takes you to the IRIS or the Microsoft Edge add-ons. So I'm going to click this one, remove, because I want to install it again. So remember, it's very easy to remove. So if you have privacy concerns with this app running, you can always remove it after the examination and just reinstall it before you run it again. So very easily, as you saw, I went here to the IRIS website, the official website. Let me just copy this link for you again to make sure you've got it. So if you go here, IRIS Invigilation, the link is in the chat. And then if you open it up, you will select whether you're using Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Click on Microsoft Edge in my case, and then I'll just say get the app. So it will be checking and then install. Now, the extension can read and change all your data on the website. That sounds very scary. Capture the content on your screen. So yes, obviously that's required. Now this read and change all your data on the website. I'll show you when we get to the MCQ. The reason why they have this is because it inserts the password for you automatically. So it doesn't capture any of the other data. But as I mentioned, you can always remove it just after the examination. So once this pop-up comes, you get add extension. And it will load here at the top. You'll see it's there by your extensions. It will say Iris is now installed. So if you click on there, you'll notice you've got Iris there. If I want to remove it, I just go here, remove from Microsoft Edge in my case, and it will be gone. So as you see, installation, very easy. All you need to do is make sure which browser you're using. You go to the official extension and you download it. I prefer this route because it will take you to the official app. We've had students where they download Iris, because if you go here to Microsoft Edge and you search for Iris, what does Iris make you think of? Eyes. So then suddenly you've got even flowers. But I've found, especially on the Google one, then they come with apps and they open it up and it's all Chinese and it wants to test their eyes and things like that. So just note, make sure it's the correct icons, this blue one with the orange in the inside. So with Iris Invigilation, go and have a look at the page. It takes you through step by step. It also tells you, as I mentioned, visit the official Iris website. And then, obviously you have to allow for the permissions, but I'm going to take you step by step through how this works. So if I go to Open Iris mock exam site, I'll link you now to that as well. Very importantly, go do this to make sure everything is working. This is basically how it's going to work on the day of your examination as well. So I'm going to pop that link in there if you want to go directly to the mock exam. Let's put a C there. Some name pop up somewhere. Hopefully they will catch that. So as I mentioned, there's two types. It's the Iris file upload. So that's a take-home exam, and then it's the MCQ. So just like the other one, the MCQ works exactly the same. Except it will ask you for a password. So let me quickly show you this. If I click on this one, Iris MCQ assessment. Now remember, you're not going to get the password. This password needs to be inserted by Iris. Okay, right. Before I do this, let me first take you through the upload, and then we can have a look at just quickly doing the MCQ. I just want to make sure, show you that the upload things are exactly the same. So if I go to Iris, let's go upload assessment. So you'll notice when I access the site, it pops up automatically. So that is what should happen. So please don't, sometimes it does block pop-ups or anything like that. Just make sure it is allowed, but it should upload by itself. So again, it will ask you to use your microphone. So you click allow, and it will also ask you to use your camera, and you need to allow for that as well. Now, I just want to show you here, just want to make sure I've got only one. So you need to agree to the terms and conditions. If you don't agree to the terms and conditions, you can't continue. It will be grayed out, but you don't need to select the second one. If you don't want your data to be used for research and improvement, you do not need to click that one. So then you just press continue, and this is where you get that message. More than one screen has been detected. Please disconnect any additional screens and close them. Restart the Invigilator window. So unfortunately, you can't use two screens on this device. So what I'm just quickly going to do is I'm just going to exit this one. And then I'm going to actually put my PC to only use one screen. Okay, so let me just get that up and running on this one. So I'll share, and I'll share the screen now. So now I need to close Iris because it detected the two screens. But now if I go here, I just refresh the page, and Iris should pop up for me again. So here go, Iris. I need to agree to the terms and conditions. I continue. Now it's going to ask me what webcam does it want to use. So let's see what webcams are available. Don't worry, it's taking so long. For some reason, not picking up my webcam today. We just see in Teams that it's not being used by Teams currently. Camera.
Richard, it could be Moodle proctoring.
Oh, do I still have that open somewhere? Let me just see. Let's just try this again. Go with this one. Select camera. No. Maybe I'm going to close all these other ones just to make sure that I don't have it captured in Moodle currently. And then I just refresh this page. I think it was actually the earlier Iris instance that I opened, perhaps. There we go. Let's just refresh it. But that's how we problem solve along the way. Let me go to exams. And then we're going to do Iris. And then we scroll down all the way to open Iris mock exam. So let me try. Let's go with this one, Iris MCQ. Okay, agree, continue. Let's see if we, for some reason it's not gonna pick up my camera today. Don't know why it's now giving me this issue. But that one. Let me just open up a new browser quickly. Okay, let's try this again. ADOVH. Now, I just want to highlight as well, if you're going to log in to myExams, it is going to ask you for your password and everything again, and you have to validate your credentials. So just make sure to log into myExams quite early on. So if you have problems with your password or two-factor authentication, that you can have some time to resolve it beforehand. Sure, I don't have any other apps capturing my camera, so I don't know what is using my camera today. So we go back to Iris. And then we go to the mock exam. So if this is not going to work, I'll just talk you through the steps so that you know exactly what you need to do. So if we go here, I'm just going to go on, let's go MCQ again. So if you're going to be using Iris, you only have MCQs, just go do both of them because you already have access to them. So let's see here quickly, permissions, camera, allowed, past default. Okay, let's just browse this quickly, refresh. So you'll see here on the permissions, this is where you can see whether it's got permission to use your microphone and all of that type of tools. Just want to continue. No, still not picking it up for some reason. My camera must probably be used by something else currently. But basically, this is the steps that you will get. So you will select your webcam and it will appear here at the left-hand side. You will then have to select your microphone. You'll see a little bar going up and down to show that it's actually correct. And then you could start with full name. And then you just type in your full name, you type in your student number. Now, photo ID is again, you just take a screenshot of your, how can I say, your student card, or it can even be your ID, driver's license, any official or photographic identification for photo ID, where your face is also visible, just to make sure that it is you. Now, one of the areas that most people get stuck with is share screen. So usually with share screen, because the button is grayed out as well, where you need to select that you are, how can I say, you first need to select, even though you can only use one screen. So it is one of those caveats where, you know, it doesn't really make sense. Why is it asking you for, how can I say, to select your screen, because it is only one, but you need to click on the screen before you can continue. So just remember that one, because they even give a pop-up beforehand to tell you, you know, this is a problem. That is usually where people do get stuck. So David, I don't know if you're on your side, maybe if I'm done, you can just quickly show this process of working through with the camera. So I'm just going to work through you how you actually then upload. So this works exactly like the Invigilator app, where you get 15 minutes beforehand to get started. You basically download your question paper, Iris will start, and you go through the process of setting it up. That's why you get that 15 minutes extra. Then you work through your content. If it's a take-home exam, you just download the question paper. You answer all the questions, preferably in Microsoft Word, but I know a lot of you with the mathematics, you need to write it out and then scan it in at the end as well. So just make sure from your lecturer exactly how is it going to work. Do they give you something that you need to print out on which you answer? Do you do it in Microsoft Word, or do you do it in just normal, how can I say, question papers? Then afterwards, you scan everything in as PDF, or you save your file as PDF. And this is now when you can come and add a submission. So basically, you come here, edit submission, or I'll just go here with my one because I have a file uploaded already. So you're going to add submission. You'll scroll down. Now you'll just take note of a few things. One thing is you have to tick this box to say this is your own work. You also have to have a look at what is the maximum file size. Usually it's quite generous on myExams, so you don't generally need to worry about it. But if you're going to scan in, especially pictures, it can get quite large. So then you have to compress it a bit. So you'll also have to make sure just the acceptable file types. So for instance, in this case, it's PDF. Sometimes they allowed Word as well. So you just make sure that you have looked at what are the file types that you may upload. And then from here, you just go save changes after you selected your file. And very importantly, I can't stress this enough for everybody that's doing written exams. After you submit it, say you've got that half an hour period on which you can submit, come back and make sure that the file that you submitted is the correct one, because you can still edit it. As you can see here, you can edit your submission, but click on the file that's in the link and then open it up. Make sure it doesn't have a password and that you did not select the incorrect file. You know, in that stress moment, you sometimes select one that's got the module code, and you'll be surprised how many tutorial letters they get. And it's very easy to do. All you need to do is, if you go to the assignment, you scroll down to where it says that you've submitted, and then you just click on the button to open up the file that you have submitted. And that will quickly give you an indication if there's an error on that file. So David, just want to check, are you able to quickly show the demo of walking through the setup?
Yes, I'm ready on my side.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Richard. Okay, so I just had to disconnect my screen, second screen. Okay, so hopefully you guys can all see this now. So there we go. Let me just minimize that part. Okay, so you'll get the first two questions that Richard spoke to you about. So you only use the first one. You don't want to really use the second one. So that's fine. Click continue. So the first thing is it will pick up the camera. So luckily my wonderful HP laptop, the camera is visible. So I just have to say next. That's great. Microphone, quickly check which microphone we're using. Probably the very first one. Yep, why? Because there I can see the bar now already starting to bounce. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so that's good. Type my name. Oh dear. Full names, guys. That means all the names. Next, student number. Let me use my actual student number. Capture an ID. Oh my gosh. Now that's a good question. I'm going to cheat, guys. I'm going to use this as my ID. Okay, there we go. Then it wants me to scan the room. So quite literally, you got to hold your laptop and scan it around. So I'm pretending now I'm scanning. Okay. All right, that's one you have to do, your desk and everywhere. So yeah, and you say stop scan, and you say next. Okay, so this is the tricky little part here, because here they're actually saying to you, so the next thing you're going to see is going to look something like this. So you need to select the window, then the share button will become available to you. So just take note, this is actually a guide first, showing you what you need to do. And then you're going to click on OK, right? Then I'm going to say share screen, click on it, then the share button becomes available. So take note of that little trick. So first they show you this is what you're going to do, then you actually go and do it. Then you say share, then you say next, and then you can begin the assessment itself. And then you'll see it talks to you saying the recording has started. You see it's just a quick little 10-minute demo, so it won't take long. Now it's busy watching me. Look, when I'm looking down there and wherever I'm looking, it's busy watching me like that. You shouldn't be getting anything to do with passwords, guys, so don't worry about the password side of things. But then
David, I just want to highlight, if you're doing an MCQ and you open up and the password is not automatically filled, then you can click on that insert password, but that's only with MCQ assessments. So just remember, you're not going to get a password. It will fill it in automatically, and you can just say continue and continue with the MCQ.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Richard. So yes, so just take note of that with MCQs. All right, so now busy recording, you do your exam. At the end of the exam, you're going to say finish the recording. And then it's going to give you this warning. So it's impossible to end it by accident, basically. So you're going to have to slide this little guy across. Then you'll say yes. And then it'll confirm the recording is stopped. And then it's going to do the upload process like that. So you'll see it starts to run. And then you will get a confirmation email just indicating that it has indeed completed. We do see occasionally, sometimes you'll get an email saying force the upload. So you'll click on that link, it'll bring it back here, and then it'll actually just make sure that the entire process completes. So just check your email. You will see a confirmation email coming through. And that's Iris, guys. So you can actually go test this one out, play around with it. Indeed, if you're going to be using it, as Richard showed you, it does a little bit finicky in terms of finding your camera. So if you've used your camera with another app, maybe just restart the laptop and then try it again and see what happens. But yeah, that's basically it. So from this side, then I can actually just close the app itself and then I'm done again. All right.
Yes, so remember what you do is exactly with the others. You get half an hour to upload on myExams. So just go to Iris, say stop. It will start the upload process, let it run in the background until you get the green tick. But while it's doing that, you go to myExams again and you submit. And that's what brings us now to the second part is where do you actually access the myExams? How do you access it? What is the, I can say, it's a bit, that makes it a bit different from my modules. I'm just going to have one from here. Let me just take you through. So accessing on my online exams, very easy. You go to myUnisa, you click on myExams. On the myExams portal, you select your module, the date and then your module. And this will open up your college's instance. So that's why it's sometimes important to know which college you're part of. Or you're part of College of Science, Engineering, or Technology, are you part of College of Human Sciences? Because each one has their own portal, but luckily you don't need to worry about it, but you'll notice it in the URL. So on the college assessments portal, you log in using your MyLife email and password, and then you can access your assessment. So I'm going to take you through this step by step. So on my modules, just look for my exams. You select the date. You'll notice it only gives the date and a few days ahead. So even before this, you can actually go access the portal already. Make sure you're logged in. Your module is listed there so that when it opens up on the day of the exams, you can easily access it. So just remember, you're going to get this button again to sign in, and it's your MyLife email, your myUNISA password. It will give you a code as well for two-factor authentication. These days they send it to WhatsApp, I see. If you got the Authenticator app, you can use that as well. But let's have a look quickly on the actual website. So remember, you do not even need to log in to my modules. You just go here to my exams. And here it gives today's date, and I think they changed it a bit. It gives now 6 days in advance. So yeah, so even a week before you're writing, you can come here and select the date that you will be writing to see what are the modules available. So I'm going to have a look here quickly, say the 9th. So say I'm writing the 9th, I click on that. Say I'm writing this IMPRSYS exam. I don't know why it's such a long code, but you click on it and then you need to log in. So it will ask you if it's the first time you're going to log in, you'll need to log in through the whole process. Now you'll notice here it actually says College of Science, Engineering, Technology. If I do one of the others, say I go to, let's see, some of this one, Moodle proctoring, and I sign into this one. It actually gives me an error, call to undefined user, because this is chems. So if you click on the wrong link and it's another college, most likely you will get this error message. So just make sure you click on the correct module so that it opens up the correct instance for you where your profile has been created. So as you can see, it looks basically like my modules, got the link on the side, you can access your profile. But as you can see, if I go to my profile here, I can't edit anything. So you can't upload a profile picture. So if it's a blank like this one, you are still good to go as long as it's on my modules. From here, you just select the dropdown that says now my exams, and then you select your module. So your module should be displaying on here that you have access to. Just quickly gonna open up here so you can actually see what it looks like. Sign in with this one. So it's my exams. Well, they removed the one log that we used to use, but it will look exactly almost as in this picture. Let me just show you this one. As this one, so it's got a welcome message, and then usually your exam is here at the bottom right-hand side. So just from the exam, select the module that you will be writing. This area will only open up on the day of the exams, 15 minutes before the exam. So remember, you need to refresh the page. It won't just automatically become active that you can click on it. So 15 minutes before, and just refresh the page and you can access it. But what's nice about this, you can actually log into this portal way before your exam. So you can go see and make sure, okay, the module is listed there. This is where I'm going to click on the day of the exam to access it. So don't wait till the day of the exam now trying to go through the navigations. Do it 7 days before the time. Click on the module. Make sure all your modules are listed there, because then you've got time still, to contact exam support to find out why yours aren't listed there. If you get this message, let me show you here again, like we had with the previous one. Wait, I had it in this browser over here. If you get this message, just make sure that you are on the correct college, but this means your user account has not been created. This is where you also just contact my exams and they will make sure that your account is correct on the platform. But usually everything now is set up for you automatically before the exams. So you don't have to worry really about it, but just in case, you never know. So yes, very easy to access it. Go do it beforehand as well. So just remember, it's not on my modules, it's on my exams. There are some exemptions. If your module says module specific, so I'm just going to open up this slide quickly. From current slide. So if you have a case where you get by module arrangement, such as this last one, this means you are not going to be proctored. I saw one in the chat. You are not going to submit on myExams. You are actually going to submit on your module side. And this is generally something like a portfolio of evidence, or you have to do a research project. You know, it's something substantial that you have to submit. And you do this on your module side, and your academic will actually give you the date and time when you need to submit it. So yeah, you definitely need to check the announcements to make sure that you do have the date and the instructions on what to do. So this one is module arrangements. But for all the others, MCQ, take-home exams, this you submit on myExams. Now, very importantly as well, if you want to access your exam timetable, remember you do this under admin. So you log into myAdmin, you put in your password. So remember, this is just your student number and your myUNISA password. And then you log into the myAdmin portal. So this is generally where you do your payments, you can see your registrations, all of that. And this is also where you get your I can say myExams timetable. I do know this one takes sometimes a bit longer to load. So there we go. So now I'm in myAdmin. So I can click here on myAdmin. Now I can see here the student admin, my academic record, my biographical details. So remember also always make sure that your cell phone number is up to date under biographical details so you can get the free data. But you actually go here to assessment admin, and then you've got your examination timetable. So this is very easy. You just select the period. Usually it's selected by default. You can just say if it's practical type, for mostly it will be not applicable because but if you're doing a practical assessment, you can just select one of these that you will be doing, especially if you're doing music, and you can just say display. But unfortunately, I'm not registered for anything, so it won't display at the moment for me. But for you, it will display, and you can even email it to you as well. So remember this path that you can take here, because you can also from this site get your academic record that you can email to yourself, especially if you're doing applications for work. So make sure that you're familiar with the myAdmin portal. It's different from the myModules portal. The myModules is where you do your learning. myAdmin is where you administer your registrations and your timetables and all of that type of thing. So just remember the two types. If you want to have your exam timetable again, we always recommend to download it as well 2 weeks before the exams, because sometimes there are like minor changes as they see clashes coming around during the timetable. But yes, so just go to myAdmin, you can download everything from there. And then just be vigilant. Remember MCQ, we learned that's the quiz activity. Quiz will be randomized. It will be sequential. So not like the quizzes that you did for your assignments. So nobody's going to get the same questions. Take-home exams does sound, oh, I'm going to take something home and I don't know, do something with it. But essentially, it's basically you download it. It's something that you're going to type out. This comes from the old vocabulary when we were still writing exams in venues. But then very importantly, module arrangement, you are going to have to take this, go to your academic. They will give you instructions on how you submit this. As we mentioned, it's more continuous assessments, or it might be a portfolio that you're going to submit to it. So that brings us to how you're getting ready for your exams. Please go and log into myExams beforehand so that you know you've got access. You know you can access the date. you can access your module and you can log in, and more importantly, that all your modules are listed there that you've got exam access to. So then I'm just going to hand over for David to the last one, and Mrs. I just want to see if Miss Jessie Sofolo is still here, just to take you through the student support that's available. Thank you, David.
Oh, thanks, Richard. Let me quickly, I was just trying to answer all the questions. So guys, please be patient. We are trying to answer the questions, but you guys are sending zillions of questions, which is a good thing because it means you're asking.
David, I see Cornelia is here and Pintius. So I think that both could probably have a quick minute to talk about the support as well.
Fabulous. Oh, that's good news. Okay, great stuff. All right, so finding support, guys, very important. You do have regional support. In other words, there are not only computer lab, there are campuses all around the country. So if you're still struggling, if you still need some help with your device and the exams, please go to your nearest campus. They all have computer labs, and go look for the digital learning advisor that's based in the computer lab, because that's the person who's got the technical know-how, will definitely be able to sit with you, work through any questions that you have, just to make sure that you are ready. So please go check out that as well. Let me quickly check. If you go look on Eunice's page, let me just see if I can find it quickly, just in case you're wondering, where do we see this? You can just go to Contact Us, Student Queries, and you'll normally find it under here as well. And if you go to my Eunice side of things, you will find it under regional support. This is probably the easiest way to find it. So just take note, when you see the region saying Northeastern, that actually means it's Limpopo and Mpumalanga. So those two are there. Midlands, it's Northern Cape, Free State, and Northwest. So it's those ones. KwaZulu, the rest of them are pretty straightforward. So there we go. So it's very easy then to actually go find which centers are around you or closest to you like that. So that's really, really important. So go check them out. Then the Student Support Contact Center. So you said Cornelia is here, so I'm going to hand over now to Cornelia. Over to you, Cornelia.
Thank you. Good morning, students and colleagues. My name is Gwanele. I am from Student Communication Service Center, referred as a call center. I will share my screen as to how you can communicate with the university during your exam period. We have about 5 entry points, which is telephone platform, email, web chat, Facebook, and Twitter. So the famous one, which is the telephone platform, you can communicate with us using the number on the screen. And please make sure that you choose option 4 for your exam related inquiries, because normally students will call us when they are busy with their exam. So please make sure that you choose the correct option, which is option 4 for exam related inquiries. We also have the general email address for general inquiries that you can use, which is inquire@unisa.ac.za. We have the data inquiries. During the exam period, students are provided with data. If you have challenges with that, you are most welcome to email us using that email address. We have my module support, which is my module 2022@unisa.ac.za. Perhaps if you're unable to log in due to technical problems on our side, you are most welcome to email us. And then we have this important one during this period, of course, which is exam inquiries at unisa.ac.za. And we also have my life help at unisa.ac.za. It is mostly for MFA inquiries. We have social chat via the corporate page, which is Facebook and Twitter. We have the web chat via the corporate page as well, and myExams. So you are most welcome to communicate with us via the web chat. We do have warm bodies behind that option, especially during the exam period. If you are unable to get through to the telephone number, because normally it has high volume of inquiries, or the queue is a bit long during this period, especially for exam queries, which is option 4. So if you can't get hold of us in that line, kindly communicate with us via web chat. And students, please make sure when you communicate with us, you provide us with sufficient information so that we are able to assist you promptly. Your student number should be on the email, on the chat as well. A full description of your challenge. If possible, you can provide us with this a screen a print so that we are able to understand what is the challenge. This is very important, and also include the module code, because you might find out that student is not aware that they are not writing this module. When they try to log in on myExam, the module is not there. So in order for us to actually assist you promptly, you need to provide us with the information on the screen. Student number, the full description, and the module code. And please ensure that when you communicate with us, you communicate using myLive email account. I don't think it will be possible for you to log in other platforms, which is myUNISA, myExam, while you have your myLive not active. So you need to make sure that, especially during this period, all these three things are active. And then we have the escalation process, which we normally use on those inquiries that are beyond, or rather we don't have resources to respond to them. So we do have escalation 1, which is a supervisor, Ms. Khabo, and then we have escalation 2, manager based in Pretoria, and we have escalation 3 for Florida campus, Ms. Carol, and we have escalation 3, I apologize for that, which is our deputy director. She is online. We hardly escalate to escalation 2 and 3 because we are able to resolve inquiries within escalation 1 and on the floor. However, if we have challenges that we are unable to resolve in our space, then we escalate it to the relevant managers and our deputy director. We also have the chatbot that is live on our page, as I've shared with you, that if you're unable to get us through the other platforms, you are most welcome to communicate with us. We do have it on our corporate page on your far right. You provide us with everything that we need, your student number, the nature of the inquiry, then we are able to assist you promptly. During exam period, what we normally do, we are able to call you back as well, because some students they fail maybe to actually give us clarity on what the problem is, or some of them are panicking. So we are here to support you throughout this journey. And then we have also this important part of being able to log into your myLive, myUNISA, and myExam. It's MFA. So the challenges around MFA is that students will change their telephone number. They don't inform the university. If that is done, you won't be able to write your exam. So whenever you find yourself having to change your device or the contact details, you need to call the institution. There's a form that we will send to you. You fill the form and then you send it back together with your ID copy so that we are able to change the telephone number on our side, and then we update your MFA. Or if you have changed your device, we are also able to remove it and register the new one. You are able to call us using the telephone number, or you can send us an email via mymodule2022@unisa.ac.za, or you can chat with us via the live chat and social media. So just to confirm the form, which you can download as well on your site. So you can just download the form, send it back to us. When you send that form, you will receive a case number that will start with the hash. Then you call us back, you give us that case number. We are able to search and assist you with changing of the contact details and assist with MFA as well, so that you are able to log in. I would say 30 minutes after you have given us a call. So this information is important, students. Any changes made, you need to communicate with the institution so that we can update it on our side. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much for your time and good luck with your studies, or rather exams.
Thanks, Cornelia. There's a couple of questions in the chat, so I think you'll get to them still. But yes, thanks, students. I do see a lot of questions coming through. Then Pentheus from the Axwe team, can you maybe speak to the students about the requirements with exams and special needs? I can share the slide from my side.
Thank you so much, David. Yes, please share the slide from your side. Good morning, students. As introduced, my name is Pentheus Nkuna. We are from the Office of the Dean of Students, where one of the division is called AXWIT, the Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities. Students, the Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities provides a wide range of services to students with diverse disabilities. It is therefore important for students to disclose their disabilities, because if you don't disclose your disability, you may not request, you may not receive the service. What you do at the point of registration, you can disclose your disability, or now closer to exams, you can also do so. What is needed from you is that you complete a particular form, which is called special exam arrangements form. In that form, you specify the kinds of support that you'll need during your exams. Let me give you an example. You may find that based on your disability, it will require extra time, 30 minutes per hour, because based on your individual needs, and another student with a similar disability as yours may require 45 minutes per hour. It is therefore important that you complete that form, take it to your physician, complete and send it back to the university. And the emphasis is to disclose your disability. When you disclose your disability, we make sure that we keep the information confidential. We won't share it with anyone. Then it will only share it within the university in the purpose of accommodating you. Students, those who does not have a disability at the moment, I'd like to say, please treat your fellow students with disability with the respect and dignity that they really deserve, because disability can happen to anyone, anytime. And for students who applied for special examination arrangements in the past, it is important for you to inform the university if your needs did not change. Let me elaborate on this, why I said the needs did not change. Let me give an example with my disability. I'm a person with paraplegia using a wheelchair. At times, your disability can progress to another level, which means can be from paraplegia to quadriplegia. And the service that I need as a person with paraplegia are different from services of persons with quadriplegia. That's why it's important for you to advise or to inform the university of your needs every year. And then the university also exempt students with disabilities from proctoring as part of reasonable accommodation. One may ask, why really exempting them from proctoring? My colleagues earlier spoke about taking selfies, listening to a prompt. Just imagine, can a blind student take a picture of themselves or a selfie? The answer is no. Can a deaf person hear the prompt? The answer is no. Amongst others, these are the reasons why we are exempting them from proctoring. And by so doing, we're not encouraging cheating, because there are systems in place to ensure that whatever you're doing it the right way. And for students who require alternative assessments, it's important for you to let us know. You may find that your disability does not allow you to write exams in the standard format that is expected by the university. Because we reasonably accommodate your needs, tell us, then we'll be able to assist you after assessing the needs. And then if by now, students who applied for special examination arrangements, you should have received the confirmation, which states the amount of time for your exams and the exemption from proctoring. I must say, students, while we provided students who are blind with braille material in the beginning of the year, students cannot write exams in braille. The braille material was provided for you to ensure that you are adequately prepared to sit for your exams. Please don't consider disability. I must say that whether your disability is visible or invisible, please disclose, because disabilities are not always visible. And for those of you who acquired disabilities during your studies, please come forward. Let us assist you. We are aware of students who are reluctant to disclose their disability due to the fear of stigma and victimization. Students, I can assure you that at UNISA, no one will victimize you. We are here to support you. We don't leave anyone behind. Therefore, please come forward so that we can assist you. The reason we also established what we called disability forums, student disability forums, whereby students with disabilities will come together and talk about their needs, because we value the slogan for persons with disabilities, or the motto for the persons with disabilities, which says nothing about us without us. Students, now that you have an idea on how to request the service from the university, it remains your responsibility to approach us and tell us on how to best assist you. Then in the slide that is presented by my colleague here, you can see the email address acsuite@unisa.ac.za. And then please drop us an email. We'll be able to assist you. I thank you, and I'm available to answer your questions.
All right, thanks, Pinkius, much appreciated. So that brings us to the end of the program. I'm just going to hand back to Richard, who got us going today. So thank you, guys. The most important thing you must be able to do from here is, and I just posted it in the chat, please go to the course site. We've just shared it again. Start there, work through the materials, get an understanding how it works, the proctoring tool you need to upload your profile pic. And then we'll be back on Tuesday evening. So if you still have questions, come back Tuesday evening, come ask us if you've got any questions or areas that you're still struggling with. But the most important thing, guys, is to start with the beginning of the course that we've just shared with you. Work the materials, won't take you too long, 2 hours max. And then from there, you will be having a better understanding of how the proctoring tools work, and of course then go and practice those tools. If you do have Invigilating app, please try and go and register yourself now and see if you do have a license. I see some of the students were saying they already got their license, which means you can then go try out the demo. So everything is inside our course, including the QR code. It will definitely help you. I'm just going to hand back to Richard for any final words from his side.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining. All the best with the exams. Really go test out these tools. If you have any issues, come join us again. We also have the blast session where we really open it up and you can share your experience. Thank you for everybody that's been in the chat. I saw you guys were helping each other out quite a lot, just sharing your experiences. And that's really the way we want to run these sessions, is where we each can help each other. There's Lesego, she just asked about the 72 hours. For the Invigilator app. So usually it's about you can already go access it. Sometimes if it's new modules, then that's where the 72 hours comes in. But what you can do is go download the Invigilator app, make sure that you are using it. And if you can't access it, just go and contact the Invigilator help with that WhatsApp number, and they will activate your license if you are supposed to be getting a license, but you will automatically get that license very shortly before the exams. And yes, with that, I just want to say thank you again. Really come join us. If you have problems, you can write to us as well. We're really here to assist you, to help you succeed within these examinations. Remember, we can help you with the technical side, but unfortunately, you will have to go study on your own. We won't be there during the exam to give you some clues along the way. But yeah, all the best. I hope you have a good day studying, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.